The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. 1-800-610-7035, worldwide toll-free. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com. And our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. What a day this is. We've been watching the stock markets here from the X-Zone newsroom. Over the weekend, as some of the markets became alive, and after the announcement that the U.S. credit rating was going to be bumped down, and now another credit reporting agency is also stating that they may bump down the U.S. credit rating as well. Right now, we're looking at over 4% in decrease in the Dow Jones, the German, the Japanese stock markets taking serious hits. Is this part of the plan? Whose plan? God's plan. Joining me now is Pastor Harry, and Pastor Harry joins us to talk about the Bible Code. And Pastor, what is the Bible Code saying about the harsh financial times that we're seeing unfold right before our very eyes?
Well, before we look at the Bible Code, I'd just like to mention something about the Illuminati.
Okay.
You know, it's been common knowledge that the Illuminati has a plan to crash the entire world system so they can bring about a new world order. You know, an entire new system, a one world government, a one world monetary system, a one world religion based on Luciferism, and a one world flag. And, you know, they've said, and it's been documented, that the Illuminati's plan to collapse the entire system is a twofold plan. It's to crash our economy and trigger a great war in the Mideast, World War III, to just create total chaos and anarchy. And through chaos, they want to bring about their new world order led by the Antichrist. And I believe that what we're seeing now, as we get, you know, as the clock ticks down to December 21st, 2012, is the Illuminati aggressively starting their plan to collapse the world economy. Because everyone knows whatever happens to the U.S. economy, everything's tied to the U.S. dollar. And we're starting to see the beginning of this collapse. And, you know, with that said, you know, I saw what was happening, and August 2nd was set up as this doomsday day. And, you know, the debt deal was a terrible deal. It didn't solve any of our problems. All it really did is raise the debt to another $2.5 trillion. And they're going to set up, you know, a super committee to fight and argue even more. It's a clash of ideologies, you know. And what happened was I went to the Bible Code because I knew this was in the code. And we're starting to see exact dates in the Bible Code, and that's very rare to find exact dates. And I actually found in the Bible Code, well, it's translated into English, it said August 2nd, 2011. That was clearly in the Bible Code that day. And it said in that day, the name Obama went right through that date, and it said Obama crash economy or economy crash, credit crash, and then it said depression, and then it said the beginning or the start, meaning this is the start of the crash of the world economies. And sure enough, we're seeing that happening right before our eyes.
You know, Harry, you and I have been talking for approximately 6 minutes now, and the stock market has gone down another. You know, we started talking. It was at minus 431.30. It's down now to 441.39. So this isn't over. It's just going to keep on getting worse and worse and worse.
That's exactly right. And now it's below. But this morning it was 11,000, I think, 400. Now it's in the 10,000s already.
Harry,
Yes,
stand by. You and I have to take our commercial break. Pastor Harry Walther and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break. The stock market is now at 10,944.04. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. For more on Pastor Harry, satansrapture.com. Take a step back in time and discover old Florida cuisine at Marsh Landing Restaurant in Fellsmere. Enjoy delicacies such as frog legs, gator tail, catfish, and swamp cabbage, or enjoy the more traditional cuisine like hand-cut Angus steaks, ribs, and seafood. Join us for breakfast with a southern flair featuring sweet potato pancakes, biscuits and gravy, and much more. Planning a party? Marsh Landing's private dining room can accommodate groups from 8 to 80 people. While you're visiting, enjoy the historic pictures, artifacts, and stories that line the walls. Marsh Landing is truly a unique experience. Marsh Landing Restaurant, 44 North Broadway in historic Fellsmere, or visit marshlandingrestaurant.com. Marsh Landing, old Florida cuisine at its best. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone broadcast network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
We all desire health, happiness, and fulfillment, but often get in our own way. Repeated patterns that leave us out of control can keep us feeling powerless, frustrated, and unable to move forward in spite of our best efforts. Unconscious patterning disconnects us from our gifts, often destroying the very thing we seek. But there is an answer. We can take charge of our destiny and heal the trauma of our history. Shamanism is an effective ancient modality that can reconnect us with our true selves, empower the creation of our dreams, and return us to health and balance. Cody Alexander is a certified shamanic practitioner and teacher with 11 years' experience. Email healingpathways33@gmail.com or visit codyalexander.net to schedule a long-distance shamanic session today.
You know, I think there's two realities in this world of ours. The reality around the capitals of the world where all the politicians are, and then their own little reality within their little bubbles. You know, Harry, before we went to the commercial break, the stock market was down 414. It is now down 514. We're watching something traumatic happen here, and the president went on TV. And basically, doesn't he realize what's going on? Because apparently, you know, he thinks that everything is hunky-dory.
Well, you know, there's two ways to look at Obama, who graduated from Harvard Law School, by the way. You have to say either he's a person that's so bound by his ideology, by this socialist, you know, redistribution of wealth, taxing the millionaires and billionaires. That's all that comes out of his mouth. Either he's a person that's so blinded by his socialist ideology that he's blind to what's happening, or he's deliberately doing this. And I believe he's deliberately doing this.
For what reason, Harry? Why is he deliberately doing this?
Well, because I believe that he's doing the will of the Illuminati. And like I said, Obama has set up a situation where, you know, he set up an impasse there can't ever be an agreement, and that's what's collapsed our economy. Because, you know, Obama's policy is to keep spending more debt, and keep taxing the wealthy. And that does not grow the economy. It implodes the economy. And he set up an environment over the last 2 years, an anti-business, anti-capitalist environment. Over-taxation, over-regulation, overwhelming business owners, this Obamacare with this massive socialist medicine program that raised taxes higher on businesses. It talks about more energy taxes, more environmental taxes, and his policy is collapsing the economy. And there's not he's blaming everyone because he has no answers. But I believe he's a puppet of the Illuminati. He's deliberately, because look at his policies. He brought upon this debt crisis. This is his doing, to a major degree, and now he's pushed Israel into a box where they're going to vote at the UN in late September for this a Palestinian state with 1967 borders, which would mean Israel would be destroyed from within. Iran is building nuclear weapons, and they plan to have nuclear weapons by March 2012. They have a plan to nuke Israel, Europe, and the United States, and now Obama wants to reach out with new friendship talks with Iran. And even people in his own regime are fighting with him, saying this is insane. I mean, like I said, I believe that Obama personally is deliberately doing this. He's told to do this by the Illuminati, but I believe he thinks he can even outsmart them, and I do believe that my personal opinion is that Obama has made a secret Islamic pact with Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, Syria, and I believe that he plans to take down this whole country for Islam. And when I saw that Obama built himself, he built himself a $335 million Doomsday One. It's an apocalyptic version of Air Force One that can survive a nuclear blast. So if Iran's ready to hit us, all he's got to do is go up there in Air Force One. He's safe and sound. An electronic magnetic pulse would end this country. It would take out our power grids. It would take out our communications, and the reactors may melt down. So, I really believe that, and his actions show that that's what his actions are showing. They could have had a debt deal, and this didn't have to happen. And the last minute, he strolled into the meeting, and he said he wants another $800 billion tax on the wealthy. And Boehner and them said to him, they said, look, we already agreed you can't bring massive taxes on the wealthy now. And then they said, well, Obama said that's the way it is, so they walked out. He sabotaged the deal the last minute. But it's just the Bible code. We're coming into a time when it's so accurate. And a lot of people are saying, well, we have most people, Rob. I'm sure you, if anyone else knows this, most people are locked into this December 21st, 2012 mindset.
Exactly.
Where that's when things are going to happen, and now they're seeing something happen that's going against what they're seeing. And we have to remember on September 29th. Which is not that far away, in the ancient Hebrew calendar, that hits 5772 or 2012.
Harry, I'd just like to stop you just for a sec. We're now looking at the stock market at minus 584 points, or 5.14% loss.
And it's only 225.
That's right. Harry, we've just gone minus 600. We're now at 601.54.
I wonder if we'll have a stock market by the time the show ends. In fact, the people are even selling gold now, and when they sell gold, that is real panic because they want cash in their hands. And did you know, Rob? Did you know that foreign investors, from Europe, Illuminati, some European investors, Japanese investors, they own at least 52% of the U.S. stock market. And all the Illuminati has to do at any moment is pull 1,000 points out, and they'll collapse our economy. So, it's very possible that the Illuminati has everything planned to crash the entire world system by September 29th for the Hebrew 2012.
Well, we just got something over the wires here that financial analysts are now saying that we are facing and heading into a worldwide recession.
That's exactly right, and getting worse, and that's what the Bible code is warning us of, and that's pretty, that's pretty dire.
It sure is.
But I found another code with what's happening. Codes about terror attacks, assassinations, fake assassinations. sometimes they don't happen, and people say the code's fake, and it's not. It's not fake at all. It's just events can change. But I did find another date encoded, an actual date again in the Bible code of August 9th, 2011, which is tomorrow. And in that code, that date is splattered with the words fraud, fake, deceit, lie, staged. Like the word fraud is there like 30 times. I mean, so that day is encoded with fraud, fake, deceit, stage, lie. And then it says Obama, and it says sniper. And yeah, I'm wondering, but not assassinated. I'm wondering if there may be a false, a fake assassination attempt on Obama tomorrow, so he can again try to divert people's attention away from the stock market, or use that in an attempt to start, to start this more gun confiscations. But I'm really curious to see. He was supposed to be in the Midwest on a bus tour, but I think because of this crisis, he's back in the White House. I don't know if he's going to leave the White House, but that event is in the code for tomorrow. It could be delayed if he's not out on the road. You know what I'm saying?
Harry, this is the headlines from the Canadian news services right now. Loonie down, Toronto Stock Exchange tumbling over U.S. rating.
Tumbling.
And
Obama, he stood there and said, "We will always be a AAA credit-rated nation." And see, he's talking, not even reality, and we're watching it tumble. Yeah. I don't know how much this can take, but it really seems like the Illuminati is beginning to make an aggressive move. See, their timetable, I found another Bible code that said by December 21st, 2012, their leader, the Antichrist, will already be on the world scene, persecuting all those that will not follow his Luciferic doctrine. So we may be seeing world events happening. This may be like a very rapid crash.
Some of the other headlines that are leading from the news services, CNN's leading headline is "Sell first, ask questions later. Sell-off intensifies as S&P rating downgrades." Harry, you and I have talked about the Bible code over the last 8 years. There have been times when I've questioned the validity, but after talking to you a couple of months ago and seeing what's happening today, where does this intelligence come from that's in the code? And why can't people see it for themselves and understand that this book is more than just a religious book, but there's important information that we need to understand, need to recognize, and there are certain paths that we have to stay away from and certain paths we have to follow?
Well, that's true. I guess they just won't accept it. So many people for so long have said, the Bible was written by men, it was written by a bunch of shepherds, 3,500 years ago. They copied the text from the ancient Sumerians, and it's all redacted, and men wrote the Bible. See, and that's what people have just wanted to believe. And then they discovered that the 5 books of Moses, the Torah, are computer encoded. Like I said, every major world event in the last 2,000 years is in the Bible code. And, you can't, if things are computer encoded, it has to have an encoder. And it's not just computer encoded with gibberish. Whoever encoded this was an intelligence that saw the future and laid out possibilities and laid out things to happen. I mean, it's unbelievable that 3,500 years ago, the Bible code encoded in the book of Genesis that on August 2nd, 2011, will begin the crash of the world economy by Obama. That's incredible. And let's say Obama stays locked in the White House. Well, maybe there won't be this fake sniper attack tomorrow. Maybe it'll happen another day. But but I don't. People, I think, just do not want to. I think a lot of people just don't. They don't want to believe the Bible code's real, because then they may have to think, well, maybe God's real, and maybe we should follow His commandments. Because a lot of people just don't want to. They don't want to follow even the simplest of the 10 Commandments.
Harry, you and I have to take a commercial break right now. The stock market is at minus 515.03 points, or down 4.58%. The Dow Jones is now at 10,922.20. It keeps on going down. It goes up a little bit, but then it goes down, levels off, and then... Oh, geez, Harry, what can I tell you, my friend? You and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break as the X Zone continues with our special guest this hour, Pastor Harry Walther, his website, www.satansrapture.com. My name's Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. We'll be back. Don't go away.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
There's a legend shared by many indigenous cultures of a time when the nations were cast to the four corners of the world. Each nation was given a body of sacred knowledge that held a different portion of the truth to preserve. True reality could not be known until all the nations reunited, combining the information. If a single one was missing, the world could not be reborn and darkness would prevail. The Science of Magic Radio is dedicated to reuniting the sacred knowledge. With the understanding, none of us has all the answers, but together we can open new perceptions and possibilities. Through our combined vision, the world can be reborn into a place where darkness no longer prevails. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic daily on the X Zone Broadcast Network, xzbn.net, or visit us at thescienceofmagic.net.
And welcome back, everyone. Pastor Harry is our guest, satansrapture.com. Harry, tell me more about this terrorist attack, or the terrorist attack that you found in the Bible Code.
Well, the Bible Code is warning that in early September there's going to be a Mumbai, Norway-style terror attack on a U.S. city. A Mumbai attack, remember Mumbai back in November 2008, that's where teams of terrorists, that was 8 teams of 5 terrorists each, attacked the city of Mumbai. And what they did, the teams went into luxury hotels, a shopping mall, a synagogue, a church, were public gatherings, and they just opened fire with automatic weapons and explosives, and they killed 166 people. I think they wounded about another 100. And the Bible Code is warning that there's going to be a Mumbai-style terror attack on the United States in September, with the 10th anniversary of 9/11, and Obama will use this event to declare martial law under FEMA to take over this entire country, suspend the Constitution, suspend all law, and move for massive gun confiscation. Bring the soldiers out in the streets and just confiscate, just raid every gun store across this country and just clean out the guns and the ammunition for starters, because the Illuminati mandate through the United Nations has been the disarmament of the Western world, and almost all of the Western world is disarmed except for except for the United States. And I think when Obama does that, then Norway and Finland will join in after Norway's, Mumbai style attack. And what's really sickening, and I mean sickening, is that I don't know how much you've heard about Operation Fast and Furious.
Not very much, Harry. Tell us about it.
Well, over the last 2 years, the Obama administration, they're lying about it. They're stonewalling the investigation, but they ordered a minimum of 2,500 high-powered military rifles, like M16, AR, whatever they are, AR-18s, AK-47s, even some grenade launchers, sold to the Mexican drug cartel, who were murderers and killers. And they sent at least 2,500 of these high-powered weapons to the Mexican drug cartel. Now, the story was that they're going to use those guns to track the guns in the hands of criminals. But there was two problems with Operation Fast and Furious. One was the moment the guns crossed the border, the United States has no control or tracking ability. It's not our country. And two, they only put 2 tracking chips from Radio Shack in 2,500 guns. So they armed, now the Mexican cartel, meanwhile, is using these guns. They've taken over a few towns. They've wiped out police departments. 2 weeks ago, a cartel using these weapons, they had took over a town, and they killed 45 people. They were shooting 2 people an hour. In 24 hours, 45 people were shot dead, and the police resigned with these weapons. And then they found, a few weeks ago as well, Arizona State Police pulled over a white van driven by 2 Mexicans, and in the back they found 45 of these heavy-duty military weapons coming into Arizona. So if we wonder where the terrorists will get the weapons for this Mumbai gun attack, it was provided by the Obama regime. And they've been making all kind of excuses. They started stonewalling the investigation. This was starting to become a major scandal in America. You know, this whole Mumbai thing, right? Like, they were having congressional hearings, and Eric Holder, the head of the Justice Department, was stonewalling the things, and he gave documents with everything blotted out, and suddenly the debt crisis conveniently came, and no one's talking about Fast and Furious, these guns, or anything.
Harry, this just came out from the New York Times. China tells U.S. to cure its addiction to debt. This is from Shanghai, China. The largest foreign holder of United States debt said Saturday that Washington needed to cure its addiction to debt and live within its means just hours after the agency Standard & Poor's downgraded America's long-term debt. The harshly worded commentary, which was released by China's official news agency, was Beijing's latest effort to express its displeasure with Washington. Beijing's reaction to the downgrade was the harshest among foreign lenders. Officials in Japan and France said their faith in the United States government remains strong. The Australian Prime Minister, Julia Gillard, warned against overreacting, while the Indian Finance Minister said the downgrade had created a grave situation, one that would require some time to analyze. Though Beijing has few options other than to continue to buy United States Treasury bonds, Chinese officials are clearly concerned that the country's substantial holdings of American debt worth at least $1.1 trillion are being devalued.
Yep, and it's just beginning. You know, Russia called our economy a parasite feeding off the world economy. Putin actually is calling Obama really a parasite. That was a few days ago, but this is really getting bad. But you see, nobody's talking anymore. What Fast and Furious? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then something else happened in 2010. It made the news for 2 days, and you never heard about it again. Back in 2009, Obama had another program, and they brought 48 specially selected Afghan fighters to this country who were fighting on our side. And what they did, they trained them, you know, alongside with the Army Rangers and the Navy SEALs, you know, like to teach them to be weapons experts, explosives, demolitions. So these were like super trained as well as like Army Rangers. And the plan was to send these 48, you know, Afghan fighters back to Afghanistan so they could launch their own, you know, special ops, you know, anti-terror operations, you know, instead of the United States. You know, that was the plan. But something went wrong in 2010 because all 48 of these Afghan fighters, specially trained fighters, they left the base in Texas. They went AWOL, and they never found them again. So now we have 48 super trained Muslim soldiers loose in this country. and they're going to have access to these heavy-duty military weapons. Also, 5 days ago in San Diego, I believe it was San Diego, there was a theft reported. 100 M16 automatic rifles and grenade launchers were stolen from an Army base.
Wow.
So right now, somewhere in the United States, there are 48 highly super-trained terrorists by the American government loose that probably already have access to these weapons. And the Bible Code's warning that they're going to let loose this attack in early September, and Obama's going to take advantage of that, and he's going to take over this entire government. And that would even crash that would total the world economy. But that's I mean, I'm not saying that it could not happen, but I mean, it's in the code, and we're seeing it everywhere. You've never heard. I mean, if you do some research on the internet, you will see the story of the 48, trained fighters vanished, but you never heard anything again, and they never found them. It's not like they caught them; they never found them again. They just vanished.
XO Nation, Pastor Harry Walther is my special guest this hour. We're discussing the Bible Code and what has been found in the Bible Code. And if you'd like more information on the pastor, his website is www.satansrapture.com. We're watching the fall of the of the stock market. Presently, the Dow Jones is down 488.54, and for the first time since last November, less than 11,000. It's now at 10,971.81. Reaction is coming swift and hard from not only financial gurus and analysts within the United States, but also worldwide. And Harry, are we watching the demise of the worldwide economic structure as we knew it? And was the implementation of the euro the beginning?
Because eventually the U.S. dollar is going to crash and be worthless, and a form of the euro will be used as this new one world currency. That's another plan of Illuminati. They don't want the U.S. dollar. They don't want it to be the standard anymore. They want it to be the euro, Europe.
You know, Harry, the Bible Code tells us about this. The events that we're seeing today, is there anything that we can do to read into the Bible Code what it tells us to do or how we can rectify this present-day situation?
I think we've reached past the point of no return. You know, people in every country, in Canada, in the United States, everywhere, people are so disunified. You know, there's no unity. People are so broken up into 1,000 warring little camps and causes. I don't think anything can change this because, you know, I believe that the Western leaders of the world have all been initiated into this, you know, this Luciferic religion brokered through the UN, and I think they're just waiting for everything to crash. They're waiting for their leader to come, and propose the new age of Lucifer. And I think the world will just sit back and watch every world leader, one by one, surrender to sovereignty and authority and military of their nation to the UN. I don't believe we could stop anything at this point. We could just, according to the Bible, we can escape what's coming in the first of two rapture events. If we miss the first one, there's a second one later. But I think the only thing now is escape. I don't think there's any way to stop. It's like the wheels are in motion now. I don't think anything's going to stop this fall.
All right, let's talk about something else just for a second, because in my notes here, I wanted to talk to you about a UFO that was supposedly found at the bottom of the Baltic Sea.
Yeah, did you see the photographs of that UFO?
Yeah, I did.
Don't it look almost identical to what in Star Wars to the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, you know, like they haven't been authenticated yet, so I'm not going to make any comment until there's more information. Because today with CGI, Photoshop, anything's possible, Harry.
Right, but they may really have found something.
They may, but they may not have either. You know,
right,
so.
And they're supposed to. What may happen is that actual craft may play a major role in Bible prophecy, and no one really realizes it yet. But, you know, because I've said many times, the Bible Code does say that the Antichrist will arrive in a UFO, in some type of spaceship. And, we're always thinking a spaceship's going to come from outer space. It's going to come out of the sky and zoom around, and then it's going to land somewhere, right?
Right.
Did you ever think that the spaceship is not going to come from the sky, but it's going to come from the ocean? They may bring this craft up soon, and one day, and it'll be a dormant. There may be a spacecraft, and it could be dormant. And it's very possible that after this first rapture event happens, what if the spaceship comes to life? What if everything activates within it? You know what I'm saying? Like everything becomes alive. If they pull that up and it's a real spaceship, this world's going to be totaled. And they could be analyzing it, but it could be dormant. And it's possible that after this first rapture event happens, the ship comes alive, literally, or it turns on. And then there could even be some kind of Stargate in it or some type of, time travel device, and out walks the Antichrist. So, it doesn't, that's a real possibility. Maybe it's not a coincidence at all that they found, that they believe they found this Millennium Falcon type UFO at the bottom of the ocean. Because the team that was looking for it, they were not UFO scanners. They were looking to salvage, treasure ships. That's what they did. They weren't. They have nothing to do with UFOs, and then they just photographed with sonar this bizarre, circular object 160 feet across.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Mind you, the majority of the people that are on the internet are saying, well, you know what, we kind of believe this is just going to be another hoax, that it has nothing to do with UFOs. Like I said, Harry, the jury is still out. I want to see more proof. I want to believe, Harry, I really do, but with all the hoaxing that has gone on over the past years with CGI and Photoshop, I've turned into a skeptic. I really have.
Right. It could be a hoax, but then again, there could be a real UFO at the bottom of somewhere, like the Dead Sea in Israel, and something could happen, and it could get dislodged, and it could float to the surface. Mm-hmm. So even this one may not be real. We may see a spaceship come up from the ocean.
We could. And of course, filmmakers have made these films before. What was the Abyss? There's a perfect example of one that was done by James Cameron. Harry, stand by. We've got to take our final break for this hour. X-Zone Nation, Pastor Harry Walther is our guest. www.satansrapture.com. The good pastor and I return on the other side of this commercial break as we continue live and around the world from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I don't know, these are weird, strange days, even though the president is saying the U.S. will always be a AAA country. Mr. President, read the newspaper. You're not. We'll be back. Don't go away.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
19 Sergeant Central. 19 Sergeant, check. Officers on the scene.
Hi, I'm Larry Lawson, host of Paranormal Stakeout. With over 36 years in law enforcement, I have learned a few things. The most important is the proper gathering and preservation of evidence is vital to putting the bad guy behind bars. It's no different in the world of paranormal investigation. Whether it's the search for the afterlife, cryptozoology, UFOs, and extraterrestrials, how we gather the evidence, preserve that evidence, and present it to a jury of our peers will make the ultimate difference in proving the existence of worlds and entities that are beyond our imagination. Join me, Larry Lawson, every week on Paranormal Stakeout when, along with my guests, we'll take a journey to prove with indisputable evidence what man has struggled to believe for centuries. Go to xzbn.net for the broadcast schedule and check me out at paranormalstakeout.com.
True healing must address 4 levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, for us to live joyful and productive lives. We tend to treat 3 of the 4, leaving the spiritual languishing. If you're tired of the same dysfunctional patterns cropping up in your life, Soul Balancing is for you. Trixie Phelps, owner and founder of Soul Balancing, is a naturally gifted energy healer trained in numerous esoteric forms, including shamanism. Trixie has created a powerful modality that safely and effectively clears your energetic field. A Soul Balancing session can remove interference, heal trauma, and restore your hope. Contact Trixie for a life-changing long-distance session today. www.soulbalancing.world.
And welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell. Pastor Harry is our special guest. His website is www.satansrapture.com. How crazy is this world that we're living in these days? Well, here's just some of the headlines for today, Monday, August the 8th. Obama tries to allay market jitters over credit downgrade. And that's from the Canadian News. Libya rebels battle Gaddafi offensive. Ukraine judge refuses to free ex-PM from custody. Ice Cube still reluctant to talk NWA breakup. Building set ablaze in South London as riots escalate. 200 arrested. Somali refugee packs capital after rebels quit. You know, we've got, Harry, the decline of the world economy. We have millions of people starving in the Horn of Africa. We have a war of cataclysmic aptitude that is simmering in the Middle East. We have mistrust in this world. It seems that just when you think it can't get any worse, bang, you're looking at,
Well, right. I believe we're looking at the plan of the Illuminati to crash the world system as we know it, and that's what I think we're seeing right now. You know, it's interesting. As Obama gave that speech for the first time, he never looked forward in the camera at the American people. He constantly looked left to right, left to right, left to right, left to right. He would not look forward. The first time, he made no eye contact with the camera.
Yeah. Harry, as always, it's great having you with us. In fact, what we're going to be doing, Harry, is we're going to be bringing you on every Friday for the first hour so we can look at the week that we had just survived through and then take a look at what is happening in the week ahead. You're going to be checking the Bible code and keeping us abreast, and maybe we can help make a positive change in this world, Harry, because isn't that what people do? Why, and I've always said if you're not part of the problem, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And I think that the media, as well as good people everywhere, should start putting their best foot forward and making changes for positive.
Well, there are things we can do if we have the courage to do things. There are things we can do. It's really fear and apathy that keeps people from doing anything.
Yeah, but Harry, I don't want to be the Prime Minister of Canada. And I'm sure you don't want to be the President of the United States.
No.
Oh, all right, Harry. So you and I will be talking Friday, the first hour of the show. Let our listeners know how they can find out more about you, Harry, and what they can find on your website. Sure.
You can go to our site at www.satansrapture.com, and you'll see exactly what Bible prophecy says will happen in this world, and what my Bible code research shows. And we look at Nostradamus, and we look at a lot of world events in light of Bible prophecy. And we also do the Tuesday and Thursday. I do that Blog Talk radio show at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Harry, as always, great talking to you. If you find anything exciting or that needs to get out in the Bible using your Bible code technology, give me a call. We'll get you right on.
I will. Thank you, Rob.
Take care, my good friend. Pastor Harry Walther, www.satansrapture.com. Oh, what a day. The New York Stock Exchange is down 4.4%. The Dow Jones is down at 10,943.62. My name's Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone, and I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as we continue Right here, live and around the world on the Talkstar Radio Network, X Zone Broadcast Network, and our fine affiliates worldwide. Don't go away, X Zone Nation. I'll be back after this news break.